people used supernatural metaphors to describe the world and the way that it worked and the way that life worked. And it worked. For a while, it's not a complete understanding of the world, but it was close enough that it worked, at least for some, at least for enough that the species survived. Then over a period of, a couple hundred years maybe, or 1,000, probably starting back in China, and then the Arab world, and finally Western civilization experienced their own versions of what we called the Renaissance, where people moved past a supernatural understanding because they realized that there were certain times that everything didn't exactly match up the way it was supposed to, according to the supernatural understanding. So that's what they called, like I said, the Renaissance or the Age of Enlightenment, or whatever. So in an effort to cast off the old ways of thinking, the new way that emerged was a cold, calculated, scientific view of the universe, which, as all these new proponents, of course, proclaimed, is the complete view. But that's what I would argue is still incomplete. And that's what we're trying to flesh out here, I guess. One of the reasons I think a new framework is required is because the cold scientific view doesn't take symbolism and its impact on the human psyche and how much that affects the world, because the humans, that's what we do. We change the world. That's not to say we're the only or the first even. I should have said that the other way around. The first or only species that manipulates its environment, but we're we do it collectively on such a big scale that it's, you can see it. It's obvious. It's apparent. Anyway, the point I was trying to get at is that there have been other attempts before to synthesize the two ways of looking at the world, and they've been called different things in the different ways they've manifested. From, I think, Scientology is one way. I think ceremonial magic or ritual magic is another. I think astrology is another. And I realize how much I'm opening myself up for criticism here, but I'm not saying I think any of these things are 100% accurate. I just say I think there's something there, and there's something about the universe that they're trying to describe, and that they do accurately describe and predict sometimes. So I don't know what to do with that. Chungus.